We got episode 11, Decode Disrupt, where insight meets interruption. I'm Nicolette.
And I'm Gabby. How are you guys doing today? So, today we're going to talk about something that is near and dear to Nicolette. Myself too, but I'm going to let her drive the show today. Well, not let, she's going to drive the show today. But I think one of the strangest things about becoming an adult is realizing that a lot of the beliefs that we live by and hold true to ourselves, they aren't actually ours. We actually, when you think about it, you actually inherited them, your family, your religion, your culture, gender, school, success, they're all inherited. They arrived, I think, before we had the ability to like question them for ourselves.
Yeah.
What you think, Nicolette?
Well, I feel like, I don't know, just having Gabby in my life, I just feel so blessed because let me reintroduce myself. This is me, 47 years old. I was 46 the last time I saw y'all. Never the same. Never the same. And if anyone in my life mirrors the parts that don't want to go with me to the next chapter, what do, Gabby?
Cut them off. Cut them off.
Oh, this, I don't believe in trigger warnings, but this might be the episode. We're getting a little, it might be a little tender because triggers are an invitation that something isn't sitting right in your self concept.
Absolutely.
If you're rooted in self,
Absolutely.
ain't nothing gonna fucking take your peace away.
No, nothing.
And nobody really owns that power. They want to give that away, right? So we're going to talk about the stories and the identities that we inherited because because we think we have to keep them, and that, I'm going to call you out, is a choice.
Absolutely.
All right. So why is this topic important to me? Because I just feel like the first half of our life as humans, in my experience and my training and what I've witnessed, we're all trying to do our best, to be something that we think we need to be. Okay. And then call it a midlife crisis. I don't love those words, but something in your soul is like, nah. You could call it your Saturn return around 28, 29, 30. Then you get a couple more aspects when you're approaching midlife. That's so that you're aligned with your soul. Okay. So this topic is important to me because number one, I believe in alignment. I believe in listening to my soul. I came here for a mission, a purpose, and I ain't gonna let anyone get in my way.
Nobody. And I think so. Why this topic matters to me, I think this is something I pondered on. Like people always called me rebellious because I was resistant to other people's perspectives, opinions, and projections. They'll tell me, "Oh, you do this because of this," and I'm like, "No, I don't." But they were just trying to elicit my reasons why because they wanted to duplicate who I was because I've always been somewhat of a very grounded individual, very self assured, very confident in who I am. And that's only because I never cared about outside opinion. You know, I developed that self assuredness young, and I think it stems from me coming out um at such a young age. I came out at 14, and I
Wow.
remember when like my mother being upset, like everybody being upset, and I was just internal. I'm like, well, this is who I am, so love me or hate me, and like they thought like piling pressure, like church pressure, family pressure, like they thought that was gonna change my mind, but it didn't. I remember sitting in my bedroom at 14 years old. I'm like, well, Gabby, I think the world's not gonna accept you.
Mm.
So what do you do? Do you succumb to their will? Do you walk around depressed because people don't like you, or do you just adopt the mindset that this is what you're gonna have to deal with and just keep going? And I chose the last one. I said I'm just gonna die. So my mindset was ingrained. In literally, me coming out at 14. Had I not had that experience at such a young age, I don't think that mindset would have came from me. But that's literally where that mindset comes from. At 14 years old, coming out, and the world just dogpiling me for my decision because of who I. It wasn't even a decision. That's just who I am, right? And that at 14 years old, so people think I'm being rebellious. People still now they just think, oh, you just act like a rebellious teenager. No, first of all, I'm grown as shit. Just because I'm young looking don't mean I'm that young. And so, um, yeah, but no, this mindset literally came at 14 years old when the world's trying to tell me who I'm allowed to be. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not going to be depressed about it. I'm not going to be down and out about it. And I don't care who got what to say about it. And people have always envied that about me. You know what I'm saying? So this is why this topics matters to me. And just to go back, today's episode, we're gonna answer two questions, right? The
Mm,
first one is, who told you who you are, right?
mm,
And the second one is, do you want to become now that you know that the choice is yours? You know?
damn. So much there. Like, y'all, if I were at
Yeah,
home, I would just rewatch this shit in slow mo Gabby shit. Because when she,
yeah,
so thank you for sharing your coming out story
yeah,
and how you were kind of just not like I have the complete opposite experience of Gabby. Like when you mentioned depression, I literally turned all that shit inward. So it's funny, right? Not
yeah,
funny that we all like my soul, like I'm here now, but it was a painful fucking 40 years to get where I was. And I admire
yeah.
you coming out at 14. I literally just came out at like fucking 45. So there's
Hey, but
no
you out though.
to the show, there's owning your shit and doing differently and acting accordingly.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And you're not alone in that. And now what I've been seeing as a trend on TikTok, even like somebody I met recently, they were late. They came out late too. She's in her early 30s. She said, "Yeah, I just came out." I'm like, "Oh, well, better late than never." Type of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see it on TikTok. A lot of women now are saying, "Yeah, I came out late. I should have just owned my truth." But society and family and the church and
We're going to unpack
yeah,
that because if that's your situation now, it's like, it's scary when you're going through that and making a choice to let your real self be revealed and who supports you and who doesn't. Like everyone's
yeah,
journey is so unique. Okay. And I want to
yeah.
honor that. And we're going to discuss why inherited identities feel invisible. So think about that. The difference between conditioning and character. Okay.
That's a
And
good
why
one.
questioning old stories often feel like betraying the people who gave them to us.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start off with we're using Decode Disrupt format as a loose background, but I really want to get into the heart of things. I want to bring up some anecdotes. And if you're in the chat, I appreciate you and I want this to be symbiotic. I want to hear more of your stuff and we'll shout out your comments in a little bit. But the decode point number one, the story of goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Ew. I'm like cringe. Okay. So, real talk,
Yeah.
if you study any framework like cosmology, ancient texts of the yogic philosophies, there is no good, bad, right, or wrong. It's what humans ascribe to it. We make the meaning. You can look at that
Mm-hmm.
anthropologically, sociologically. Why do you think cultures differ? It's the mores, the norms, and the values that a set of people get together and go, oh, this is what we're all fucking buying into. Feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And then who usually sets that shit up? Do I dare I say it? White men in power historically, right? Okay, and religious entities that want us to pour into a system that extracts your light and your truth and your magic for their profit. And I don't care if you disagree with that. You can go back to any slavery system, capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
It's the bourgeoisie, it's those in power. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so let's just sit with that shared framework. So when you say good, good is inherited because you're able to be controlled.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about this, Gabby, before I go further on?
I love that you brought that up because I've always stated that, like when you say goodness, right? Goodness can be performed, and I've always, especially within the last few years, I've come to realize that um, we focus too much on performative um antics. I'm gonna call them antics,
Ooh, that's fun.
and yeah, they're antics, like the performative antics and the uh, political correctness, and we don't focus enough on integrity and actual morals, like actually living the morals that you're preaching. You
Mm.
get out and you perform it. You get out and you perform it. There's nothing more in this world I despise more than performative, like because it's so fake, right? Because with performative, you can pretend and fool, right? But then you're behind closed doors, or when your back is turned, you're sabotaging other people, you're setting up other people, you're gossiping about other people, and that in itself is like probably the most detrimental thing you can do to person. People don't understand. People think gossip is like so innocent, and it's not. They think it's a small thing. It's not. It's absolutely not. No. But that's how I take goodness. So I know I think we got two different perspectives on goodness, right?
Well, I'm with
And
you because when you bring that
yeah,
up, I'm going to reveal something very tender, and I want to be mindful of the way I bring it up. My religious background comes up, okay, y'all. It is literally a cult, but they don't want to and like accept that I grew up in a cult. But anything that strips you of your choice of expression and power and the ability to question things and tells you need to go to church like 3+ times a week, give all your money, bring more people to bear the fruit. I mean, they would knock
mm,
on our door if we didn't show up. Like we have name tags. Like they did. I want to respect it. What I did love about it was
yeah,
there was community. I'm a kid, and I love to love, and I would just run around the church and like love on everyone. While comes back to Gabby's point, people are having affairs, doing drugs, doing the most. But
yep.
at church,
Everything's performative.
so I'm like, I'm a person of integrity. Like I can't like bullshit truth is just who I am. So when I saw all this, I was so confused. I'm like, how are they representing themselves as one way and then acting a different way? And my little brain couldn't understand that. But then I had to conform, wear my pantyhose, sit with all the women on that side, which is still to this day, you cannot be gay. They probably wouldn't let me in with my tats and my shaved head. And
That's
that to me is
crazy.
like, how is God this male entity in the sky that's telling me I'm burning in the lake of fire all the fucking time? And that was my formative years, and my little brain was just like, I don't know. So goodness to me was just like following in line. You feel me? Like my life,
Hmm.
my soul is on the line, and that's what I was taught. I know it's kind
Yep.
of
And
heavy, but that's
that's crazy. And that's how they get you with religion, especially so young, right? They tell you, if you don't do this, you don't do that, the all-knowing God that is love will condemn you to hell or wherever they condemned you in your cult. But like you're gonna be banished from him, right? And I think that should be a form of emotional abuse. That is absolutely the textbook, the psychological definition of emotional abuse. But yet we have certain institutions that are allowed to get away with emotional abuse.
I like that you said that because it
Yeah,
everywhere, like in my friendships, in my romantic relationships, like I just was always in that role of power over, right? Like people always dangled the carrot over
yeah,
me. It's like, oh, you want this? Then I'm gonna take that. Like that's just how my worldview started. And it was so warped.
yep,
And the last thing I'm gonna say is I don't want to like name people, but I have half my Filipino side of the family who still go to this church and like hate it and go for their parents to this day. They're going to die that way. And it's not my place to say, bruh,
yeah.
how are
There's a
you,
better way.
right? In one
Yeah.
hour,
Nope.
hating your life to please your, like, we're just, that's a pattern, a cycle that y'all are perpetuating because you're not being
Yep.
truthful. Like, I'm scared to go to certain family members' houses because I'm judged. I don't, like my whole lifestyle, like, it just doesn't feel good. That's not love to me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you said a couple things that I want to address. You said they're going to keep going there for the rest of their lives, and you look at them, but you can't say anything. People have to see things for themselves. Because say you do say something, and then they get that 5 minutes, 5 minutes of courage, and they leave, right? And then
Mm,
they regret it because now the familiar pressure comes, and now they resent you. You get what I'm saying? So, with time and wisdom, you learn that you can't save everybody. I don't want to save anybody. I'm gonna mind my business and be left alone. And
that's
but then the
not mine.
second thing you said, the second thing that came to mind when you were talking just now was you're the generational curse breaker. And this is what we mean when we say terms like generational curse breaker. Like religion uses it as this like spiritual term that has all this I don't know the word I'm looking for, this meaning, right? This supernatural meaning. But it's not. It's a simple act. You decided, hey, I don't want to do this for my lineage anymore. So I'm making the decision to walk away. You get what I'm saying? And that's how
Yes.
you do it.
Thank you for
That's
putting
how you
that
apply the
together.
logic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we talk about this thing a lot too, like at what cost? That decision wasn't easy. I made it first when I was in fifth grade, and I told my parents, like, I'm done. Like, we couldn't celebrate Christmas or Halloween. Like, we were ousted in school as the
Yeah.
weird fucking kids. And then I just got so fucking tired of that shit. I said, I'm not going to fucking church no more. And then my parents were already like the heathen of the church because my mom is not full Filipino. She had to get married in. So it was already like we were tainted and we were evil and like we fed into that fucking pattern. And then we stopped going to church. And then in high school, I'm like, you know what? Let me go back when my brain's a little bit more formed and see if I want to go back and see how I feel with the doctrines and the Bibles. And I went by myself without my parents, and I was still like, this is not for me. And just to tie this up about my religion, it's just it's a choice I make, and I still deal with the disappointment that I do, or that people have in me that I don't go, because their framework is that's love, and they show their love to me by saying you need to go to church so that you're saved in the afterlife. Like that, they literally believe that, so they believe they love me that way,
Mm.
and that's not love to
Yeah,
me.
I mean, it's not love to you, and you know, you can't force somebody to see your perception, you know, and that's the sucky part about it. But
Yeah.
I just want to make this one caveat, right? We're not condemning our family systems, our religious institutions. Nothing that we say here today is a condemnation to anything, right? It's just a simple acknowledgement. So we don't want to villainize where we came from, right? But we can still honor how it served us and still acknowledge that we outgrew it,
Mm.
before we, yeah,
Really happy you made that distinction, because I'm not angry about it. I grieve it and I'm hurt because that
yeah,
connection isn't there anymore,
yeah,
because I have to go to the memories we had as kids. But our relationship's not the same, and that's something I'm okay with. So thank you for naming that, Gabby, because people make choices. If that church serves you,
hmm,
great. I'll support you. But the minute
yeah,
you come at me and
yeah,
the way I live my life, then I have a
yeah,
problem. You know? So thanks.
absolutely.
So the key line with this first one, y'all, I kind of shared a lot because I wanted to drive home that those choices still hurt me, but I still choose me. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Discernment isn't rejection. So do you see how I'm not abandoning myself? I'm not editing myself, right? We're choosing consciously, and sometimes the choices don't always feel good.
Absolutely.
All right. What's the next point?
The story of responsibility. This is a huge one. So who
Mm-hmm.
taught you that your value came from carrying everyone else? The caretaking role, the oldest daughter energy, empathy for everybody. Ah, I'm so over that one. I carry empathy for nobody. Hyper responsibility and over function. I am an oldest daughter, so my mom will deny it now, and she tried to when I talked to her about it. I'm like, yeah, you used to always have me watch Devin and Andre. I was home alone. No, I didn't. I never left you home alone. Yes, you did. Let's call my friends from high school because I'll be sitting on the phone with my homegirls while I'm watching. Like, she just lies. Like, she's such a, oh my God, so narc coded,
Oh,
but
sorry.
so narc coded. But yeah, like like the blatant denial and lies is beyond ridiculous. And she's a minister, by the way, which is why
What?
I cannot take the black church seriously. I cannot. The emotional illiteracy alone, I cannot, and I will not. I will not. Like, you just lie for no reason.
Wow. So okay, I'm a pattern person, so I'm seeing we both feel
Mm,
it in the religion, and we're both seeing it in a
yeah.
particular culture. Because without
Yep.
putting words in your mouth, Black culture, Filipino culture, or just cultures, crab theory. If y'all don't know about crab
Yeah.
theory, it's when people don't want you to rise.
Yep. Absolutely.
Claw your
Oh, I
ass
was condemned for that. I
damn
was
bucket.
condemned for being ambitious. Oh, she certainly sabotaged me in many ways toward my ambition. I'm not gonna talk about that yet, right?
Heard.
There's a book on the way, and then there's an investigation it's wrapped up, but
Yeah.
still, it
Because
hasn't been publicized. But oh my God, she condemned me, and then would put roadblocks and say, "Well, you didn't do this." Well, you did, like, but I'm about to break it wide open, and it's gonna be undeniable because I'm gonna look and say, "Black community, what do you have to say now? Is it still racism? Is it still racism?" Oh, okay, it's not. It's not. So let go of the victim mindset.
I love us because I'm gonna speak for myself.
Yeah.
I am not here to be palatable. I'm not here
Yeah,
to
me neither.
I'm not here for the likes. I'm not here to feel like have people make me feel good about what I'm saying. I'm a truth teller, and usually truth tellers are what burned at the stake historically,
Hmm.
right? Like that's how
Absolutely.
revolutions happen is when as a brave person who doesn't fucking fit the mold speaks their truth. And
Yep.
I'm grateful that Gabby and other people like Kita and Marlena are like, we support each other as AFABs. And if you don't know that term, assigned female is birth. Because usually, like in the 90s, women hated women. They'd cut a bitch to be like at the top or over your man.
Yeah.
All that shit. Listen to fucking R&B hip hop lyrics. It was like we were all side pieces and shit.
Yep.
So
Yep.
anyway, that was a divergent to being like, if you're here in Decode Disrupt space, no matter when you come here, that means something in the way we speak resonates with you. You're doing this in your community, in your sphere. And if y'all haven't noticed, it's time for humanity to start speaking some truth and flipping this shit on its head.
I mean, today's Saturn retrograde is today.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. Saturn governs karma. And karma isn't inherently. People say karma and they immediately associate it with negative consequences, right? But karma can be good or bad.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, it
if
goes
you
back to
sown good,
no good or bad.
yeah.
It's just your truth handing back to you.
Yep, your
So
truth hand. That's the best way to put it. Karma is not good or bad. What you
have
put
you
out is what you get.
exactly? And have you been
Yep.
doing the inner reflection,
Yep.
or you just been out fucking like doing the most at other people? Well, Saturn's gonna be like, you need to sit your ass down. I gotta talk to you.
Absolutely.
All right, and then
Listen.
this whole I'm the eldest daughter too, caretaking. There's just so many ways if you're sensitive or caring, and it doesn't matter if this comes from your culture, your income status, your sexuality. It's just something systemic is going to make you be like, yes ma'am, okay, and stuff your feelings down and start to overfunction, overgive. And that's how, again, they extract your light and your energy because you said no. Like, what does Gabby say? No, I don't want to.
I want to.
I say that
I
all the
do
time.
not want to.
I'm like, no, I don't want to. Do I have to justify myself? The old part of me wants to because I'm scared. I need to be understood. I need to make the peace. I want everyone at peace, but that's not mine. And we're inviting everyone to just put down those stories and those identities we inherited, right? That's the topic. So here's the key line, y'all. Compassion doesn't require self-sacrifice.
It does not. It does
I'm,
not. I don't think I have any compassion left to give other
I
than for
love
myself because I use it all for myself now.
that is the truth, because when you give it to yourself, you're automatically giving it to others, because the more you pour into yourself, you naturally have more to give to others. So Gabby knows.
Yeah, I give it to myself, and that's it.
I love that.
Um, our third point, the story of purpose.
Ugh, I almost hate the word purpose.
Yeah, I think you know what? In my experience, purpose is always. I think we attempt to realize our purpose ahead of time, but I think purpose is often found in retrospect.
I can get behind.
And I think it's great that we try to assign or identify purpose ahead of time, um, because it gives us something to strive for. But I think through the striving, you're making mistakes, you're bumping your head, you're tripping, you're falling, you're getting back up, and then you're making adjustments and detours along the way, right? So what you start out, how you start out the journey may not be, what you intended when you start the journey may not be where you end up,
I would
because
say
we don't know what our purpose is.
agreed.
Huh?
I agree with you. There's no way to know your purpose. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
so when Keita's on the show, we always like to say the word remembrance. It's literally a remember,
Yes,
because
it
if
is.
I'm being a hella percent, like, just super honest, your purpose is you fucking are breathing. You are born. You're a soul. But
Mhm.
that's not enough in the way we created these systems based on, I need to get my bills paid. I need to like exchange my service. You know what I'm saying? So when that started to come up, our inherent worth didn't matter anymore, because it's like, why would I pick you over this other haircutter? Why would I go with, so we're always constantly trying to be the best. and prove something. So our purpose is fucking love. Our purpose is presence. Our purpose is to experience life and to interfere less and just witness and be a part of the fucking flow. I don't What do you think about that?
I can agree with that. I think it's good to have goals and stuff, right? But I think it's also great to remain flexible, especially I think a lot of us. Oh, I got so much to say about this.
Go,
I
go,
think
go.
it's important to I think it's important to live a purpose-driven life, to have something that you're striving to achieve, right? But I also think it's important to remain flexible enough to where if a detour has to be made, you have the courage and the intestinal fortitude to go after what you now know to be right. Once you're presented with new information, you get what I'm saying? I think purpose can change, and unfortunately, most people don't do that.
Mhm.
Mommy and daddy told me I had to be a doctor, so that's my purpose, and I'm not gonna stop till I become a doctor. And then you turn 40 years old and you realize you've always hated being a doctor, and now you're depressed and going through a midlife crisis because you don't know where you're supposed to be, right?
That.
So,
Thank you. You literally
like,
summed
and
up
now you're trying to find your purpose. You're trying to find your purpose, right? But your purpose was being a doctor, you know.
I
So,
love it.
but I mean, detours come, and yeah,
Mm,
that's why I believe that purpose is often can't really be viewed until you've grown wisdom. I'll say that.
I'm percolating over here. Okay. So
Yeah.
thank you, Gabby, for explaining what the stereotypical midlife crisis is. It's when you are forced to do something and you did it. We're not even going to get into if that was morally good, wrong, or right. But now you're literally an adult going, I never chose that. I don't want that. Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm with you. You can live an ambitious life because don't get me wrong, like I have goals. Here's the fucking kicker: when it's your identity, you're fucked.
Absolutely, I can agree with that.
Come on now, because then you tied your self worth, everything you do into that thing, and things what? They
Yep.
transform or change.
Absolutely.
So
You
purpose is,
never know.
go ahead.
I said you never know what's gonna happen.
Agreed. So I hear flexibility, I hear pivoting, and I hear
Yep.
what's the through line of what you care about? The job's going to change, your life's going to change, injuries are going to come and go. Can you still feel like you're living your purpose through it all?
Exactly.
That's my question to y'all.
Yes.
So my purpose is to be in integrity with myself, to say what I mean, to fucking fuck with other like high vibrational folks who add to my life and help me expand.
Absolutely.
Like the sky's the limit in my life. And if you don't reflect that or pour into that, you need to go.
Absolutely.
So, key line: your life may be preparing you long before it explains itself. And Gabby, do you have more to clarify on your angle? Because you
No,
kind
no,
of came,
no. I did. No, no, I don't. I
yeah, that
think
was
you summed it up perfectly.
I love that, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna take a minute before we go into disrupt and thank everyone in the chat. We got Jenny. We have. Can you see it this time, Gabby, or is it every week you can't
I
see
can
it?
see it. I can see it.
Oh, okay. Then I want you to kind of do the romper room, like say hi to everyone and
Yeah.
read their quotes.
Ah, hey Jenny, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Omi, thank you for being here. Marlena, thank you for being here. Omi said, he concurs when we were talking about triggers, and you must pass the test in order to handle what comes next. Ooh, that one we should have read that in a moment because I would like to know exactly what we said that triggered that comment. You must pass
Remember,
the test. What was it?
it's basically I love that comment by the way because it's like checkpoints. It's like your soul is like, all right, I'm gonna create these circumstances that feel like hell on earth, but how are you gonna work through them? How are you gonna
Yeah.
learn? Right? And yes, that's how you evolve and grow. So I really like that comment. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that comment. Marlena said, "Oh, Gabby is back inside, and now Nicolette is wearing the hat." Yes, I'm back inside today. I was running late from the gym. I was gonna go sit poolside. It is jumping at the pool right now. The sun's bright, but I'm gonna go out there when this is done because I have to grill my steaks for meal prep this week. Goodness is just submission. It is. It is. If that's how, yeah, goodness is just submission. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so we're segueing into disrupt.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
here we go. So let's disrupt some things. Is everybody along? How you feeling about the topic? We talked about some vulnerable things here. Again, I'm gonna throw out that caveat. We're not here to villainize our past. We're not here to villainize, even if I say some very strong opinions. Because I will, because that's just who I am. um, it's not to villainize anybody or any institution or anything. That's just I just have a strong opinion about it, and how I say it is how I say it. Nicolette knows I don't believe in political correctness. I'm a good person in real life. Like I'm an empathetic person in real life. I have integrity and morals in real life. I don't harm people in real life. So how I come across is just how I come across. You know what I'm saying? So none I don't do the whole political correctness. I say what I mean what I say, and how it comes out is how it comes out. Um
More people
so
did
yeah,
that.
don't mean to hurt your feelings.
No,
Yeah,
it's liberating, especially
yeah,
again AFAB. It's like if I come out direct, people are like, "You're angry, you're fucking mad." I'm like, "Now I am.
yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't before." All
yeah.
right,
I'm just
so
chilling.
we're
Uh,
disrupting. You are not your conditioning.
you are not your conditioning. So many of the thoughts that we defend aren't actually ours. When it comes to religion, when it comes to society, you know, even our familial systems, when it comes to most aspects of our life, it's just things that we inherited along the way, things that were ingrained in us as a child, and we kind of adopted and kept it going as we grew into adulthood. The question is, what do I? The question isn't what do I believe. The question is, where did I learn that? So in order to uncondition yourself, that's what you have to do. If there's a belief that just never sat right with you, or a belief that you've always questioned, you know, um, you sit with it like, what do I believe concerning this? And then you question, well, where did I learn that? And then you kind of trace that back and then form your own belief. I've always been a critical thinker, so I've always questioned everything from childhood. So I can't
Mhm.
really relate to the whole conditioning thing, because I spent my life actively not trying to get conditioned, even if there were times where it seemed like I may have been conditioned. I wasn't conditioned. I was just trying to fit in with the social norms, right? Of certain institutions. I was always aware of what was going on, even if I never spoke on it.
Mhm.
Right. Um, you can't call everything out, you know. And so, well, I couldn't then, but now I can. Um, but yeah, yeah. So you are not your conditioning. So yeah, sit with what you believe with certain things, and also when you're deconditioning, there are gonna be emotions that come up because you're going through what is it, Nicolette, you can speak on that. When you decondition or you're trying to heal from a trauma, what is that called? What comes up?
I don't know exactly what you're looking for, but what I'm sensing is basically your operating system is questioned. Who you are, how you show up in the world, and the evidence that supports that, i.e., your people. And then the minute you disrupt that, like, I don't know if this is speaking to what you wanted to hear, Gabby, but you're basically like shaking up a program. Think about it like a computer, but we have feelings and we have emotions and we have it's somatic, like your memories are in your body.
Yeah,
So if you have a practice, there's so many out there that help you unearth the trauma that lives
hmm,
in your bones, your
facts.
fascia, your connective tissue, your brain. You're going to live the same fucking day and things all the time. So I almost got lost in the sauce here, but basically, when you're deconditioning, you're dismantling old operating systems. And if you never defrag your computer, it's an intense process.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. So yeah, you're gonna go through some things while you're trying to decondition. Um, and it's okay. Feel those emotions, let them pass. Just don't get caught up in it. Don't blame yourself. Don't get um caught in like looping thought patterns.
Mhm.
Just realize what you believe now and go out and live that, you know. But
Yeah,
you're
I
not
agree.
your conditioning.
You're not. Also, I'm just gonna share like the reason why I created this show is because I want spaces where people feel safe to question, like, what's the word, like just everything that you've encountered in your life in a safe space, because I think people got scared of cancel culture to actually say the thing, like Gabby or me, like people come for, or nobody comes for me because they know not to fuck with me, but it's like I will have a fucking
Yeah,
debate because I'm not trying to
yeah.
change you, and you can't change my character, you know.
Mm-mm.
So my point is, if you're going to start your deconditioning process, ask for help, because if you want the support, it's hard to do alone. It's hard to do alone. If you hire a coach, just make sure it's someone out of guru energy. It's just someone you align with. Like, that's why we have Keita on the show. That's why we had Dito on the show. That's what Gabby and I could offer. If you resonate with anyone, look into them, because it's not about money. It's investing in your future self. And we're just
Yeah.
like a mirror and giving you our tools and expertise so that you can cut through the shit we went through to help you
Oh,
elevate. So
absolutely.
that needed to be said,
Yeah, absolutely. All right. You
Yeah.
got anything else for on this?
You see what she
I see what she said. You got anything else for the first disruption? Oh,
Ah, you blew that shit up.
ah. So the second one, purpose isn't something you find, and we kind of touched on purpose a little bit. Purpose is something you practice, and this is why I say it's in retrospect. Um, I stopped asking what is my purpose and started asking how do I want to live today, right? So for me, it's about visualizing where I want to be and who I want to be, and then taking the steps, the habits to get there. The steps, the habits, the mindset, and practice to get there, right?
Mhm.
How does that person show up every day? How does that person talk? How does that person eat? How does that person sleep? What are the habits this person has? You know?
Yeah.
And in doing so, then I will reach my purpose, you know. But also with myself, because I'm a very eccentric person. I'm very eccentric. Eccentric in personality, not so much in style. I still try to adapt to society, but I'm
Okay.
very eccentric in personality. Um, and
Wow.
so I
That from
do
you.
me,
Go ahead.
I do me with a little twist.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So what about you, Nicolette? Do you have anything to say about purpose?
Sure. I feel purpose. I like to look at it like as a North Star, like what's guiding me higher than my limited mind, higher than the government, higher than all these perceived limitations, right? And
Hmm.
it's more like what Gabby's leaning into. It's like, how am I embodying the feeling of who I'm trying to be? Like, live in the end. If you never heard of that term, that is a
Never
fucking
heard
key.
that. That's no.
Live in the end is more instead of visualization, because if you visualize, there's power in that. But if you live in the end and you look back, I'm going to share that secret with you. Live in the end
Oh
of
yeah,
what
you
you
got to.
want and act like it. Your manifestation hack is next level, because the universe responds to your feelings and your states. So I'm emotional, but then I also have this underlying calm, and I know myself, and I can go into depression, I can go into anger, and I can say, hi, you're here. But it doesn't
Hmm.
overwhelm me like it did in my past. So my point with purpose
Yeah.
is, I didn't fucking think I had a purpose, because it was always like my career. I'm from Silicon Valley, so it was wired into me. I'm not anything unless it's my career. Dude, in like 2002 or whatever, I was working at a credit union after graduating from Cal, because there were no jobs. And my shame spiral was like, people would be like, what do you do? What do you do? I'm like, I work at a credit union, and they move on because they don't fucking think you
Hmm.
have anything of value. So my reality hurt my heart, because I'm like, yo, you don't want to talk to me because I'm not working at, Facebook, or, like I don't have a
Yeah.
key to where you want to go. That literally is my experience of Silicon Valley. So,
Oh wow.
mm-hmm.
Isn't it weird that that question was ever a thing? It is. You know why that question's a thing is because people ask that. It's typically one of the first three questions someone asks you, right? And they ask you that so they can assign value to you. That's why they do it from a
So
psychological standpoint. That's the psychology behind it. People don't know why they ask, but in psychology, that's the answer. They want
thank
to
you for
assign the value to you.
science, but being the
Yeah,
visionary, that's so fucking whack. Like, what do you do? What do you do? You're programmed to, I'm not judging no one, but if you're just at
yeah,
a desk today and you're supposed to be better than me because you're conditioned, like, no.
yeah.
Okay. We go
Hmm.
with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Disruption number 3. You
Okay,
don't,
you don't owe. Oh, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
no, you go, you
Go ahead.
go.
No, go. It's you. It's your turn.
You
I'll
don't
take the
owe,
architect's note.
all right, word. You don't owe old identities lifelong loyalty. That one's an interesting word.
Oh,
And being in Leo season, Leo quality is loyalty. So if you're giving old versions of yourself loyalty, you're the one keeping that shit alive. And then everyone's amplifying and feeding into that. So,
yep. You do not. People gonna say, "Oh, you changed." Yes, I did. You forgot where you came from. I didn't, but I don't want to go back there. Oh, you think you're better than everybody? I just might be. I just
oh,
might be now.
oh, Gabby just said, I might be. I'm like, if you're projecting that, then that's on you.
Yeah, I just might be. You know.
I
Yeah.
don't want to.
I
It
tell
just
people. Yeah, I just might be like. People try to do anything because you got to understand when people do this stuff and say this stuff to you, they're they're not only are they projecting, but they're trying to regulate their own nervous system. Because I used to have people that say, "Oh, when you come around, I get anxiety." Well, either you have anxiety or your nervous system is this. I didn't do anything. I didn't walk in the room with anxiety and holding hands with anxiety and introduce you. No, that's not me. That's a you problem. And people project, and the amount of adults, it's so crazy. The amount of people that project, like no one there, the EQ in this world is so low. The average person doesn't have it because everyone projects, everyone manipulates. Like, and you don't owe those old identities to people. Like I cut everybody off. Everybody knows now they can't say anything to me. Like,
wow.
no.
Ah,
Because I've given you plenty of chances to one stop playing in my face, plenty of chances to apologize, plenty of chances. And now that people see that it's real and I'm
mm,
not you what you thought you gonna
mhm.
have force in numbers. No. I've been standing alone since I was 14 years old and came out the closet and had the whole family dog pile on me. You dealing with somebody that's grown and I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Since 14 years old, I'm not gonna budge, baby. I've been doing this since I was 14. I've been standing 10 toes by myself since the age of
Yes.
14. And you
Tell us.
think you're gonna what do you think is gonna break me? I ain't broke yet.
Oh my God. I
Now
see
you
so.
now you not only have you gone above and beyond, you
Yeah.
compromised your integrity, you broken federal laws, you're about to get exposed,
Oof.
and you did all of and now you're a clown. And you're a clown. Now
Oh my.
everybody's about to know that you're a clown because you did this and it was funny. Because what people don't realize is when you stand 10 toes by yourself, things
Mm.
like embarrassment and shame don't bother you.
Nope. They can't touch
I
you.
overcame I, I overcame that at 14, but I overcame that by 15 years old, 16, 15, 16 years old. Y'all talking about me for being gay. Oh, I overcame fear. I overcame fear, shame, and embarrassment. But you can't get me with none of that. And
You
that's
do
what
that.
people don't understand. So then they keep hitting lower, lower, lower. And now you've exposed yourself because you just done the right thing a long time ago. I'm not
Damn.
budging. There's nothing you can do. And now we're here. You have
Hmm.
no more cards to play. You're
Yeah.
back in the corner. I had the perception from the moment that this all started 6 years ago. I knew how far you were gonna drag it.
Mm.
And I knew I was gonna be able to stand 10 toes because there's nothing you can do. Your projection is your projection, your shame is your shame, your fear is your fear. Like
Mm.
there's nothing you can do to me. I've been conditioned for this since I was 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody that's grown into this, into who I am. And the only reason you're intimidated by me is my self assuredness and my confidence. But it comes from having to stand alone by myself since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
look at that and say, "Oh, I feel bad for you." Oh, that no, I gained a lot in that. That's why I'm confident. You think you're gonna break my confidence by doing what? Lying on
Nothing.
me? A smear campaign? Lying to my all my friends, and now everybody want to come back. You can't come back. You can't. I'm sorry, baby. I don't believe in forgiveness. I do not, and you can't brainwash me. You can't gaslight me into believing in forgiveness because I never will. I've studied too much psychology. I've studied too much neuroscience. I don't. All I know is I need to. You can't get me with the religious angle. You can't get me with the societal expectation. There's nothing you can get me with anything.
Mm. That is
You know what I'm
power, right?
saying?
Wow.
It
I,
is because you never, and this is why you should leave people alone because you never know what somebody has already overcome.
yeah.
So you
That's
come with these elementary antics, elements. Because I'm looking at you like, oh
and
wow, you're 50 years old, still doing stuff from kindergarten. You're 50. You're 50. And that's how it's gonna come out. When this come out, I'm going to hit because you still feel shame and embarrassment. You ain't overcome them emotions yet, baby. So yes, yes, you're about to get all this work because the whole time you're doing this, not only do I see it, I'm processing everything in real time. This is what people don't realize about me is I process everything in real time.
Mm.
So I'm processing everything in real time, and I'm sitting back taking notes. And I can't give too much. I can't give too much. I can't give it away. But
Ah,
yeah, yeah, there's a lot I want to say, but there's a lot I can't say.
I feel you, and I celebrate you.
Yeah, no, I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it.
All right. I want to
Yeah,
say thank you, Marlena. What is icky exactly? It's so icky. If you want to, and then I'm guessing you're a fellow Leo. I think you're an August Leo. Hello, Leos. My birthday was yesterday. It is our season. How can one be better through it? Well, how can one be better though? How is it measured? I don't know. Do you know that? I'm out of context on that one, Gabby.
how can one be better though? How is it measured? Oh yeah. Oh no, that's a joke. She said that's a joke. When they
Uh,
say, "Oh, you think you're better than me," and I say, "Maybe I am." Then that's the comment to
Thank
that.
you. Heard. Okay.
Yes. Like,
Sweet.
what does that even mean?
Ooh, I'm loving this flow, and I'm loving that we're,
Yeah.
Gabby and I are sharing some personal shit, which isn't always easy.
Yes.
But my
Yeah.
intention with sharing personal stuff is, again, if you like follow other people like Guru Energy who just do the whole love and light shit, that's not fucking
Yeah.
real. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
So, what's the architect's note, Gabby?
Um. So, architecture begins with the blueprint, but good architects revisit the blueprint as life changes. Not every room needs to stay the way it is, the way it was originally designed. And I think that's so important for today's episode because you have to realize you are the architect of your own person. You
Mm,
are, we're big on self authorship here. That's what we do, self authorship. You are the author of yourself. Nothing defines you but you. You know what I'm saying? Not your job, not your family, not your cat, not your dog, not the car you drive, not your social economic status. There's nothing that defines you. You define you. And once you're defined and you're comfortable and happy with the person that you become, right? Nothing can shake you. Nothing can shake you. And I go back. I wrote an article about this. It's about internal conviction. It was the Genius Billionaire Playboy Philanthropist article, and it revisits it studies that line from Iron Man in the first Avengers movie when Captain America says, "Who are you without that suit?" And Iron Man rattles off, he's like, "Genius being that playboy philanthropist." And at the time, I thought that was the greatest quote in movie, like in cinema history. But at the same time, it reminded me of internal conviction. Like he really tried to diss him, and Iron Man clapped back so quick, like which all you see is a suit, Steve. You see my suit, and you think that's all I am. You think because I don't have these fanatical superpowers, right? You think all I am is a mere human with a suit. No, I'm a genius. I'm a billionaire. I'm a playboy, but I'm also a philanthropist. Like, and I thought that was so powerful. Like, it's knowing who he knew who he was
mm.
in that moment. In that moment, when old buddy tried to diss him, he was like, "Hey, don't get this twisted. I know exactly who I am."
I love that. I
And
appreciate that
I,
coming from
oh
you
my
because
God,
it's so good.
yeah, yeah, but yeah,
Hmm
that's all I have. But as far as the architect's notes go, do you want to go ahead and take on a
Yeah.
recap? Oh, the final disruption.
Okay. Final disruption. You got it.
Yeah, this was a special episode. This episode is all about Nicolette. She shared a lot today. Growing up, I think a lot of us from childhood to adulthood, we think growing up is becoming another person. But I think growing up is just remembering who you were before, society, survival, religion, and everybody else wrote your script for you. So I have a couple questions for Nicolette before we go into the recalibration portion, right? So what story did you think would always be true about yourself?
It's a really good question, Gabby. There's many, but the one that comes to mind is I always thought I had to be the giver in the relationship, like
Same.
because as much as I'm a questioner and a disruptor, I'm a fucking lover. I'm a lover girl. I just fucking love to love. I'm a romantic. But what I learned is it's always at what cost? Me. And
Mm-hmm.
I learned the freaking hard way that people will take and sleep well at night and not think twice about your experience. While I'm over
Absolutely.
here ruminating, taking on, doing the most. So the story, since I'm constantly evolving, yesterday was the best day. I'm gonna pop this little nugget if y'all don't know. So according to the Mayan calendar, July 25th, which is my born day, is the day time stands still. And I don't know if y'all felt it, if you're tapped in. I talked to my friend in Charlotte, and she was like, she didn't even know about it. She's like, oh yeah, I slept on and off. I didn't give a fuck about linear time. So isn't that cool? Like another person directly experienced that. So on my birthday, I was like, I ain't humaning. I'm pouring all that love into myself. And I just did whatever my soul wanted. I ate the food. I fucking expressed all day. I got so much clarity on it's like the relationships in my life are evolving with me, but there's a few fucking like dingleberries, like when you take a shit and that fucking shit won't come up. I'm sorry to be or like descriptive, but
Yeah. No, you're
that's
good. You're good.
coming up and you're like, what? And then it's like these people are switching into, oh yeah, I match your energy. Oh yeah, I know what to say. Bro, you're not. Like you only come around when you want a
Mm-mm.
dopamine hit, when it's convenient for you. You say the thing, where's the action? So
Yeah.
what? Cut them off, which is an
Cut them off.
amazing piece by Calibrated Chaos. Like if you haven't read
Thank
that,
you.
go. I'm telling you, because that guilt and these inherited identities and stories say, no, you're the nice girl. No, you care. No, they're going to come back for you. That one was a big story is people are going to come back for me because that witch wound or that fear of being punished was so strong. And now
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I've been through it for 47 years. What can you do to me? I'm good
Yeah.
with creator and my being and who I am. So
I love that. I love that answer. So, when did you realize that it was no longer true about you?
it's constantly evolving. Like I think I mentioned the relationship I was in when I moved to Asheville was a very painful one. And in the spiritual world, we call it the karmic relationship, where they literally a mirror to everything I was not letting go of. So they were
Okay.
behaving in a way that I was still tolerating and accepting. So this is where you don't blame the other
Okay.
person. They were literally giving me what I thought I deserved until I walked away. You see what I'm saying? So I realized through little relationships, and they sting every time I meet a new person, and I hope it goes well, and then they show their ass. And I'm like, oh no, you need to go.
Hmm.
So it's constantly getting better and faster instead of me wasting a year, instead of wasting 3 months, 3 weeks. I'm like,
Absolutely.
fuck no. And they get
Oh
clever and
yeah.
trying to package that shit like, oh, I'm good for you. Show me.
I cut it. I cut it off. We can talk about that offline.
Yeah, well, that's another episode, the cutoff. We're just gonna
Uh,
talk about cutoffs.
oh, I did a dating series. We gotta do a couple dating
We have
episodes.
to talk about modern dating.
We do have to talk about modern dating. We do. We do. Well, we done with the arc, so whatever is free game.
Okay.
All right, so let's get back. What surprised you about letting it go?
Okay. So real talk. Once I let go of these connections that were good enough, right? Oh, I have real people come into my life, like real people who care about me more. And they haven't even met me in real life yet. Like my energy and who I am has captured them in a way that you can't even fuck with. It's like truth. And they're already vouching for me. They're already opening doors for me. They're already like, it's a whole nother fucking level. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm there. It's like my life is like, oh, okay. Here's the keys.
I like that. So, what does it feel like on the other side now? I know
It
you briefly mentioned it. You cut it off quicker and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is where it's human. Like, am I lonely a lot? Yeah, because I'm not tolerating just fucking someone in my space. So, life on the other side is when I am blessed with someone who's at my level. It's the
Hmm.
most orgasmic feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even sexually, just like, oh, you speak my language? I don't got a code switch. You like me for me? And you
Yep.
fucking show up? This is what it should be? Oh,
Yep. I don't code switch. You either gonna love me or hate me. Like,
same.
yeah.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
So thank you
Nah,
for those.
Nicolette, I appreciate. Not pre thank we about to we always do this. You about to thank me for the questions. I'm about to thank you for answering the questions. No, seriously. Thank you for being so vulnerable today. This episode was a lot. Trigger warning. Nothing we say here today is to villainize. Sometimes we just process emotions in real time. We say things in real time. And those emotions, those statements that may be a little charged are still like, it's not that we haven't grieved it, we aren't over it. Some things still come with an emotional charge.
Mm.
Um,
I really
so let's
like
get
that.
to the recalibrate. You like the way I said that?
Yeah, let me pause you because
Okay.
sometimes I question the way I express because I'm so I like to wear my heart on my sleeve. I like to speak my truth, and I am very fire. And sometimes I question that, but I don't want to judge my expression. But what Gabby said is really really sweet and really honest. Like sometimes charge is there because it's something I'm going through in real life in real time, but it
Hmm.
comes from a good
Yep.
place in my heart. And so I really love the way you name that, Gabby. Thank you. No one's a villain.
Oh, no,
I'm mad
thank
at
you.
nobody. Everyone's just doing
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. That's
Okay.
just it's a little charge to it. You know what I'm saying? You
It's
know.
passion.
Um, yeah, it's passion. It's passion for sure. you know. Um, so let's recalibrate. So this week's recalibration is the portion of the show where we take the decode, the disrupt, the lessons from that, and we come up with a question or a task for to give you guys this week so that you can apply what we talked about today in your own life, right? So
Mhm.
today's reflection question is, which inherited story am I finally ready to question? That's for you guys. So the takeaway is, notice the place where you've confused conditioning with identity. Notice the places where you confuse conditioning with identity. That's the takeaway. The question, which inherited story am I finally ready to let go? The takeaway, notice the place where you confuse conditioning with identity. So the action step, right? You're going to complete two sentences. I'm going to give you the sentences and you fill in the blank. The first sentence is, I inherited the belief that blank. The second sentence is, today I'm practicing believing blank. So take your inherited belief that you've kind of been questioning, and then assign it something that you want to practice in its place. And then just fill in those two blanks. So then the
Mhm.
final reflection is, so you don't have to erase your past, you don't have to villainize your past, you don't have to hate your past. Those are just life lessons, right? You take it and you integrate the wisdom, right? You simply get to become an active participant in your future. So don't villainize the past. Let's actively create our future here. And that was the whole purpose of today's show, right? Um, our key line is, you can honor your origins without outsourcing your identity to them. So it's okay to honor it, right? But don't
Mm.
outsource your identity. You have
That's right.
anything to add, Nicolette?
No, like from every standpoint, there's like um the recalibration had a little bit of psychology, like if you know cognitive behavior therapy, right? That's
Come on.
literally the work you do. Like there's a technique called ANT. Like it's like you take the negative thought and you label it and then you reverse it, flip it, reverse it. So what Gabby's asking you to do, like take the belief and then you're shifting the belief. So that is just, see, we talk about woo things, we talk about like, but this is actual grounded change. This is behavior change.
Hmm.
Plus, I love the softness because, again, we're not villainizing our past. It's our origin. I have a tender place for my religion and my family, but it doesn't define me, right? And that's what I
Hmm.
think people need a permission slip for is, oh no, I'm going to disappoint my family if I don't go to church, which is a belief.
Yeah,
And it may come with some action that supports it because they're going to express their belief. But if you come down to it, come back to self honoring, come back to love is doing what's right for you and letting people do what's right for them, which I think is lost on the fucking world right now.
it is.
So that's what I had to
It
add.
is. All right, so let's close out. Nothing new in the comments today. Um, so so maybe growing up isn't collecting or looking for more answers. We're not seeking more answers or more clarity. Maybe is asking better questions, right?
I like that because, again, I think you and I may come across as rebellious, but we're just questioners at the end of the day, don't you think?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm not rebellious. I just want to be left alone to live my life.
exactly. And usually conformity doesn't like that. So that's why we're like the
Yeah.
problem So we're disrupting that.
And I
All right.
don't understand why it bothers them. Like, why does it bother you?
Oh, that we're going to start a whole nother episode. It bothers them because
It-
they're scared to do that for their life. So they're just,
okay, well, you go conform and go over there and let me
over
just live
there.
my life. Like, why do you have to bother me? And that's my thing. You're actively bothering me, and I'm just minding my business. That's the
Oh,
part that gets me, right?
I know we're closing it, but yes, that's the whole reason why
Yeah,
are there internet trolls? Why are there internet trolls? And then you meet them and they're like so like kind looking and like they wouldn't hurt a fly, but on the internet they're like fucking evil. Like, because I
yeah.
can't answer that, but I feel it's
I
because
will never understand.
they're insecure.
I will never understand every situation. I can honestly say this that I've ever been in.
Hmm.
I've never bothered anybody. I'm somewhere minding my business, and people come bother me. Like I've never done anything.
All right, that's wisdom, and then greatness usually attracts, I don't know, shit.
No, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
I hear you. Okay, so we're closing this up. We got a little feisty again, but maybe the greatest
Yeah,
birthday gift we can all give ourselves isn't reinventing who we are. See, it comes back to remembering that we're allowed to choose. Life is like a crayon box. We're allowed to express. We're allowed to be,
absolutely.
allowed to change. So choose to surround yourself with other people who support that, and then let's let it ripple out.
I love that. I love that. I have nothing else to add. You before we close out. All right. This is the Decode Disrupt, where
Where
insight meets interruption.
option. I think that's the first time we got it together.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
thank
Thank
you.
you guys for joining today.
Okay, peace.
Peace.